Oh, okay. Good afternoon, teachers.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hui. Ano yung teach? Oo, teach. Yan.
I-unmute mo sa akin.
Minute. Okay. Okay, one more minute for everybody to be here, and then we can start our reading session. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, hey, Miss Lloyda.
Hello, everyone.
I'll just turn off my camera because I have a class.
Hi, Mr. Sean. Yeah, don't worry. No problem. Okay, it's 45 already, so I will start our reading session. So I had a quick introduction of the books we're gonna read today. It's called Children Bible Story. So share the greatest story ever told. So it's basically like a simplified version, kid-friendly version of the Bible, I think. But most the story and the content mostly is the same. Now, the story of today will be we call God Chose David from Samuel 16. All right. Let's start reading. Okay. Now, uh, God chose David. Saul reigned over the Israelites for more than 40 years. But because he did not always obey God's commands, God decided to choose a new king for his people. I will tell you which one to anoint. The prophet Samuel remembered the day long ago when he had anointed the young Saul as king. He had not seen him for many years now and was saddened. God said to him, "How long will you mourn for Saul? I have rejected him as king of Israel. Fill your horn with oils and be on your way. I am sending you to find a farmer named Jesse in Bethlehem. I have choose I have chosen one of his sons to be king." He told Samuel to take a heifer with him and to invite Jesse and his sons to the sacrifice. "I will show you what to do," he said. "I will tell you which one to anoint." So Samuel traveled to Bethlehem in Judah. When he arrived, the elders greeted him in awe. They did not know why the great prophet had come to their village. "Do you come in peace?" they asked, bowing down before him. "Yes, I have indeed come in peace," Samuel replied. "I have come to make a sacrifice to the Lord." They took him to find Jesse, who was a descendant of Boaz and Ruth. Samuel asked Jesse to call his son together. The humble farmer was amazed, not knowing why he and his sons had been singled out. Samuel invited them all to the sacrifice, but first he consecrated them to God. One by one, the young men stepped forward. The first, who was named Eliab, was tall and handsome, and Samuel thought that he must be the one whom God had chosen. But God said, "Do not consider his appearance or his height. This is not the man. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Jesse called his next son, who was named Abinadab, to step forward. He was also a fine young man. But Samuel said, the Lord had not chosen this one either. Then it was the turn of the third son, named Shammah. But he was not the one. And Samuel shook his head. All 7 of Jesse's sons came to Samuel in turn, but none of them were chosen. The great prophet was puzzled and said to Jesse, "Are this really all the sons you have?" "There is another one," replied Jesse. "He is the youngest, still a child, really. He is named David, and he is out in the field looking after the sheep." Samuel asked him to send for his last and youngest son immediately. He waited calmly, holding the horn of holy oil in his hand. In a little while, the door burst open and a young boy ran in. He was a fine-looking child, with ruddy cheeks and blue eyes. Samuel looked at him and heard the voice within him saying, "This is the one I have chosen. Anoint him." So Samuel poured the perfumed oils over David's young head and anointed him in front of his father and his 7 brothers. They watched it in silence, hardly able to believe their eyes. And from that day on, the Spirit of the Lord was with David wherever he went and whatever he did. So, understanding the story, God decides David will be Saul's replacement as king of Israel. Though a young shepherd may seem too inexperienced to be the country ruler, God knows David has the necessary qualities. David cares for his sheep by feeding them, guiding them, and protecting them from dangers. This is exactly what God wants for his people, for his shepherd. So a little bit of trivia from the story. The Star of David, the Star of David or the Shield of David is a symbol of Israel. In 1948, it was officially adopted for the modern state flag, though its origins do not relate directly to David. His historic importance resulted in the star being named after him. The star has been seen on tombs of the 1st century CE, but its first mention was not until the 12th century in a Jewish text. So we still have 3 more minutes. Is okay if I continue the story, the teachers?
Go on.
All right, Mr. Sean. So next one is actually my favorite, David and Goliath. So this is from Samuel 17. This is the part where the Philistine and the Israelite drew up the battle line above the valley of Elah in Judah and faced each other from the peak of their separate hills. Out of the Philistine camp emerged a terrifying figure. He was at least 3 meters, 9 feet tall, with legs like tree trunks and fists like hams. He was called Goliath, and he came from Gath. He wore a massive bronze helmet and a heavy suit of armor. A huge javelin was slung on his back. He would clasp an iron-clad spear. He bellowed across the valley, "I defy the ranks of Israel this day. Choose one man to come and fight with me. King Saul, I dare you. If he is able to kill me, the Philistine will become your servant. But if I kill him, then you will become our slaves." King Saul and the Israelites listened in horror. Who could, who could take on the Philistine giant for 40 days? Goliath appeared each morning and each evening and repeated his challenge. One morning, David arrived in the Israelite camp, bringing food for his brothers, who were soldiers with King Saul. He saw Goliath for the first time and heard his words. "Who is this monster?" he dared. Who dared to threaten the army of the Lord? He asked. The Israelite soldiers told him about Goliath. David went to the king and said that he would take up the giant challenge. You can't fight this Philistine brute, smiled King Saul. But I am the keeper of my father's sheep, and I am used to protecting them. David protested. Saul reluctantly agreed. Go and the Lord be with you, he said. He gave David his own tunic, a coat of armor, a bronze helmet, and a sword. David tried on his unfamiliar finery, but then shook his head and took it all off. He ran down to the valley and chose 5 smooth stones from the stream. He put them in his leather pouch and moved towards the giant. Goliath could not believe his eyes. What's this? I asked for a man, and they sent me a shrimp. Okay. David replied, You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord, Almighty, the God of the army of Israel, whom you have defied. I am not scared of you. And with that, he fished the largest stone out of his pouch and put it in his sling. He whirled it round and let the stone fly. It sped through the air and reached the target, sinking into Goliath's forehead. The giant screamed and crashed to the ground. David ran to him, took his sword, and cut off his head. Triumphantly, he lifted it high in the air. The Philistines fled in terror. The Israelites pursued them, hacking them down as they went. Then they returned plunder to the Philistine camps. Okay, that is the end for the story David and Goliath. Thank you, teacher, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much, Mr. V.
So, Miss No, tomorrow, is any elementary teacher would like to share a story?
I can do it tomorrow, Mr. V. I'll send you the story within this day or tonight.
Nice, Miss No. Nice, No. Looking forward to it. Thank you, teachers. Thank you for
Thank
a
you,
great
Mr.
reading
V.
session.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.